Oh yeah, this is the build. Welcome back everybody to another build video, and today we're going to be going over Big Disc Amon. If you like heavy ordnance weapons, this is the build for you. For a rundown of the build, it's basically you can spam heavy weapon ordnance forever, and everything around you just dies pretty fast. Also, you don't have to aim, you can just shoot the floor and like literally it's going to play the game for you. And I know a lot of people enjoy that playstyle. So the bread and butter of this build is the Disc Jockey. This launcher bounces around a lot, builds up damage, and hits everything in its path, and it's kind of ridiculous. Also, for your weapon choices, it doesn't matter too much unless you need a second win. I'm only using the Hot Slugger for that. But for the most part, you're always going to have your launchers out, and you will never have to actually use your main weapons. For this build, the only 5 slots that need to be filled are these down here. First off, you have the Shiny War Paint, and what this is going to do is when I use it, I get 30% fire rate and 30% movement speed for 17 seconds. More fire rate, more damage per second. So before an encounter, I will pop the rep kit, bust out the launcher, and then chain it into all the enemies. Like I mentioned before, the Disc Jockey is definitely your weapon of choice. It's very great for mobbing, very great for bossing. But there is one more weapon I want to talk about too, and that is Purple Torg rocket launchers. Now, specifically having 2-shot modifier on it, so it's ×2. This thing is ridiculous. It has high fire rate, you can sustain infinite ammo on it, and it shreds. Unfortunately, I only have a non-elemental one. I'm on the hunt for elemental ones, so if you find them in element, be sure to pick them up. Also, a really cool thing, even though it's ×2, it only consumes 1 rocket per shot. So you get 2 rockets for 2 procs at getting ammo back for 1 ammo per shot. Pretty cool. For the class mod, we're using a Purple Rarity Cyborg, and the most important thing is to get the green skill in the middle there called Endless Bombardment. I somehow got really lucky and got a +5, but if you get somehow like +3, you should be fine. And then this is not required, but it will help, but the right skill there, that shield with the launcher and grenade in it, that's called Ballistic Bulwark. Getting any amount of points in it, it doesn't matter, 1, 2, whatever. That will help you get overshield upon hitting the enemy, and that will allow you to keep up your Super Soldier. For the Super Soldier, any roll. The main reason for this shield is to get ammo regen for your rocket launcher when your shield is full. But yeah, if you get the 1 point on Ballistic Bulwark on the right side there, that blue skill +1, then it will help you preserve your ammo regen in battle and keep your rocket launcher full. And then finally, this is still in question, I'm not happy with it. I'm literally only using it for the firmware on it. Because I am using a Hot Slugger, just in case I fall in a fight for your life, Jacob's Enhancement. 20% chance for an automatic critical hit. As for the firmware, you want to go for 3 on Gadgets Ahoy. That gives ordnance cooldown, ordnance damage, and if you get a kill, you get more ordnance damage. And then 2 on Airstrike, splash radius, splash damage. Max out that launcher. The firmware could be in any order. It doesn't have to be like, you know, Gadgets Ahoy on specifically this or that or whatever. If you find these firmwares in the world, just, you know, collect them all, throw them in the bank, and then mix and match until you can get your 3 and 2. Alright, now for the skill trees. So the bread and butter for the infinite ammo part is not only Super Soldier, but also here. Endless Bombardment lets you hit enemies with heavy ordnance and have a chance to get ammo back. At 10 out of 5, it is 60%. I've ran this with 5 out of 5 without the class mod on, and it still works too. But getting any amount of skills into this point will be a plus. You know, kind of secure that infinite ammo. And up here we have more elemental damage, more crit damage. Basically, you have a chance to crit with guns. And for some reason, heavy ordnance launchers count as guns. So you do get the bonus out of this, so definitely a nice skill to grab for auto crits. And then we get a little more ordnance damage here. Onto the red tree, this is a very important tree. The main bread and butter in this tree, right here. So there is only red. Basically, you can build this up to 600% bonus cryo damage. So in order to activate this skill to get the big damage out of it, you need to activate Berserk. And the way to do that is to throw your Forge skill. And we're using a low cooldown double-edged Forge skill from the green tree, because we want to proc Berserk off and on like as much as we can. So basically all you gotta do is just hold Berserk, or hold your double-edged sword, and now we're in Berserk. You can see on the left and right side of the screen we have the cryo and the red marks. That is a sign that Berserk is active. And all you have to do from there is get 10 kills in combat and then your maximum damage on this. But make sure you keep getting kills consistently because you will want to chain Berserk and keep it up. If you wait too long, it wears off. As for up here, we do want to move down the tree, so we grab fire damage if we're doing a fire Disc Jockey or like other fire weapons. All the stuff over here is mostly melee, so we're not really doing that. This is more shield, we're not rocking that because we're already going to be full shield thanks to overshield. So yeah, more fire damage, more movement speed, and shield regen. Weakness is nice, so you can apply weakness if you hit the enemies with your launcher. That's going to be awesome. And then this is for invulnerability. When you toss your double-edged sword like I did a second ago, it will give you invulnerability for 6 seconds, and that can be good for getting your shield back and like, you know, getting your Super Soldier back to ammo regen. For blue tree, we had 1 point left over, and the only thing that made sense to me is to put it into Scorch Kairos. You get a tiny bit more ordnance damage and mag size. Finally, down here, the class mod is boosting ballistic bulwark, and that's going to give us overshield if we do any sort of ordnance damage. So we can protect our super soldier from going down and giving us infinite ammo. To really dumb down the skill tree, basically, if I hit enemies with ordnance, I get ammo back. And if my super soldier's up, I get ammo back. They kind of work together really well, but if one isn't happening, you can rely on the other to sustain infinite ammo. But ideally, you're getting them both to go off. Over in Specialization, we are going deep into Gadgeteer. So just having Gadgeteer alone gives you Ordnance cooldown, which is nice. Ordnance cooldown when action skills activated. Ordnance damage now benefits from gun damage, so any boost to gun damage will go into Ordnance. I would prefer my fourth one over here to be Bullet Train for running, gives you more gun damage. But I don't have the points for that just yet, but I would take that over this. But this is still nice to have anyways. So moving down here, we have Ordnance gains critical hit chance. It's a low chance, but it's free damage. Why not take it? And then finally, the best defense, if my shield is full, and also my health, I can get bonus damage. So I'm rocking these 4 right now, but as soon as I get more Specialization, I will be definitely grabbing Bullet Train and getting rid of this one. You can only have on 4 skills at a time. That's it. Alright, that's the gear and skill trees. Let's go to combat. Alright, so we're on UVH difficulty 5, so enemies have a lot more HP. This is the maximum difficulty in the game at this current time of recording. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take on the combat. So activate Berserk by throwing that out. And now we need the chain kills and build up that cryo damage from Berserk. So what we're going to do is shoot at the floor and make sure you don't overspend your launcher at the start, because you need to make sure you are getting your overshield first to preserve your super soldier. Let's go ahead and activate this too. But as you can see, like, things are dying pretty fast, and it's quite nice. Also, I am rocking Radiation as my main for the disc jockey because it is Radiation, and I'm mixing in Cryo from Berserk, so you kind of have that best of the both worlds with Cryo and Radiation. Similar to what we did in Borderlands 3, we didn't have to actually worry about swapping elements too much, but if you want to, you can swap to different elements, like a fire one, shock one, whatever you need for what you're taking on. And yeah, you just shoot the floor, shoot near the enemy, and they just ricochet around and die pretty fast. Yeah, that's pretty much the build. I will say though, make sure you watch your ammo count. Don't let it get too low, because if you overspend your ordnance ammo, it will go on cooldown, and that would be really bad. Also, if you want to, if you're taking on like a tougher enemy, let's say like, I don't know, this guy for example, he's not too tough, but you can put the ordnance away if you're full ammo. Pull out Breezy Axe, freeze him. I didn't mention that before, did I? We're using Searing Cold for the augment, so we can like freeze and stop enemies in their tracks, which is quite nice. And then bust out the ordnance again and take them out. The TLDR of this build, make sure you're just getting shots to hit enemies, and you will get your ammo back. Keep your shield up, spam at the floor, and things will just die. Alright, now we're at Inceptious, so we are going to take him on UVH 5. So here he is. Activate Berserk. I should activate the bonus fire rate too, so we'll do that. Pull out the disc jockey and just hold on the trigger. So, I will say though, if you guys are playing on UVH 0, this build is ridiculously stupid. UVH 5, you know, some bosses are pretty healthy, but the disc jockey doesn't care too much about that, so let's go ahead and keep doing that. And you might notice in the background, enemies around me are just dying just from the ricochets of it. Okay, shields down, let's swap to fire. I do wish I had a shock one, but that's fine, that's all good. So put that away. We stop Berserk going, and yeah, you can see the stack damage is just ridiculous with Berserk. Also matching elements too. He's gonna fall down, and we'll finish off this kill. And enemies in the background are still dying. I'm not even like, you know, aiming at them, but the gun ricochets. Quite nice. And cool. And there's your boss. We didn't let go of the trigger the whole time, and he died. Also, I just leveled up Specialization, so boom, we got it. Take you off, put you on. Now we can run and gun. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the build today, so have fun on Big Disc Amon. I didn't really use this too much, but I promise you it's really, really good. And yeah, if you guys really enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and a follow. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the future for some more Borderlands 4 content. Peace out.